Well, hello, viewers, and welcome back to Space Haven, where we once again join Emerson, Jimmy, Madeline, and Tala in their adventures aboard the HSS Horus. In the last episode, we had just warped to this new sector where there is a derelict waiting for us, as well as a Hyperium asteroid. So we're going to start off the day by immediately telling them to mine this Hyperium, and as soon as they've woken up and had their coffee breaks, which we will speed up to now, as soon as they've done that, we're going to draft Madeline and Jimmy in order to explore that derelict. Unfortunately, we do have a pirate ship coming in, so we're going to have to cancel those plans. We're still going to let them wake up normally, because that pirate ship's not going to be here for 7 hours, and they're almost awake. So once they've woken up and had their morning coffee, their breakfast, we're going to jump out of here because we are not equipped to face a pirate. So as soon as they feel like it, we're going to tell them to prepare for hyperjump. We're not going to make that elevated. We're just going to let them do it whenever they feel like it. Elevated priority is not. Emerson's happy to go do it right now, though. Alright, so Emerson's spooling up the hyperdrive. We're gonna get out of here before this battle happens. We're not prepared for a battle with the space pirates. Hopefully Emerson will have time to go get his coffee. Why are we not possible? Why is jumping not possible? Jumping online. Pods recalled. We'd better turn off that mining task. Just in case. Okay, what's going on? Why can't we jump, people? Because you have to be at the nav console, I imagine, to make the jump. Get that, or we're out of fuel. No. Okay, yeah. So he won't do it. Maybe he would have done it. Here we go. Jumping away well before pirates can arrive. Alright, unfortunately, the pirates are coming. So we're going to skedaddle, leave this Hyperium be, and maybe focus on getting some shielding and weapons so we're more prepared for these pirates next time. So let's take a look. Over here we have a derelict and carbon. Over here we have Hyperium. Still have plenty of jump fuel. There was a new version released which has added fertilizer, which is a requirement for grow beds now. So we'll also have to take a look at that and see what happens. Meanwhile, we're going to head over here and we're going to drop out of hyperspace here. We'll click that carbon, check out the derelict. Seems like a reasonable place to deploy. So let's slow this down, make sure we're going slow, and let's get Madeline and Jimmy drafted. Send them over to the derelict, and let's make sure that this carbon is being mined. That's Jimmy on the way. Madeline's already in. As soon as Jimmy's on board, I'm going to pause it. Tell them to dock at the derelict here. And we'll speed up their voyage so they get over there quicker. And slow it down once they arrive. Madeline's got the shotgun, so she's going to jump out first. Hoping not to see any aliens, but he's a strong possibility. Whoops, somehow I ended up sending Jimmy out first. Madeline takes a wild shot, letting the shuttle go. Alright, the two of you, get over here, open this door. This is a hostile situation. Try to be safe. Already killed one bug. Oh, another one spotted. Madeline takes out the wall. One down. Two down. I saw another one coming. Yep, there it is. Madeline got a little close there. Bug coming down the hall. Alright, all clear for now. Let's go see what's at this door. Hold on, Jimmy. Don't go half-cocked. Alright, empty. Looks like a navigation room. Clear this hall. Jimmy's taking the lead because he's got that bloodlust. Madeline is heroically leading from second place. Oh, another bug. Oh, it bites Madeline. Jimmy. Bit Jimmy in the shoulder. He'll be okay, though. Alright, I think we may have gotten them all. Check these last two rooms here. Oh, where did that one come from? What? Oh, that one's tougher than the rest, too. Alright, it's taken care of. How did that one sneak up behind us? I'm pretty sure we cleared all those rooms back there. Must have been hiding around a corner that we missed somehow. Ah, and one more. Hiding, wow. That one really chomped on Jimmy's face there, but okay, they are clear. Alright, so let's let them go. Check out the salvage. Hoping for some tech blocks here. Excellent, 2 tech blocks. Wow, that's quite a bounty. That's really gonna help us. Alright, grab the 2 tech blocks, grab all the blocks, grab the fuel. Hopefully we can get this stuff transferred before any more pirates show up. Get our industry off to a better start. Yeah, we're just gonna leave those soft blocks because we don't really need those. Again, there's not a lot to salvage on these ships. Alright. Madeline and Jimmy are gonna get to work. Hopefully doing... Oh, actually it looks like they're back on board the ship. Emerson's finishing up the mining. Tala is doing the chores. Actually, it looks like Tala is bored and idling. So let's see what we can do to improve our lot here. I know that we're going to need to investigate fertilizer. So let's take a look at that. That's probably going to be in food or resources. Composter, here we are. Composter, turns biomatter and food in general into fertilizer and water. Oh, you can also just make carbon directly from it. Oh, we can turn the bug bodies into fertilizer. Actually, we can't. We can turn it into chemicals and carbon. But it looks like to make fertilizer, we're going to need biomatter. How do you get biomatter? Ah, chemical refinery can also make fertilizer directly out of chemicals, so that seems like a waste of chemicals, but something we'll consider. I believe the toilets now make biomatter, so it might be that they're going to be turning their poop into tiny bits of fertilizer. And it does look like we have a lot of fertilizers to start with, so I'm going to throw in the composter. We'll see how much we get. Don't know if we want to put it in here. I think we want to leave it in this industrial section. Just because it's going to be easier to get power there, and I don't want to waste the space. We will, however, consider making more... We do have some biomatter. We will consider making some more grow beds, because these things are just ridiculously slow Alright, we have the CNHS Vokow coming here. Maybe we should trade these guys. We still don't have an operations console, so they would really love to buy our hyperfuel. And they're not really selling us anything all that useful except for this really expensive meat. Do have cheap hull blocks though. Yeah, we don't really need to trade with them yet. Alright, composter's being built. Tala's on it. We're probably going to have to think about power there. Let's take a look. Jimmy is here. Madeline must be on... Madeline and Emerson are on mining duty. Mining carbon. Let's check our carbon stores. We probably actually don't need all that much carbon. Looks like we had to use one of the tech blocks on the composter. Yeah, I guess we don't really need all that much carbon, people, so maybe we're going to cut this mining short. It looks to be going pretty quickly, so I guess we'll finish the day mining. I'm getting a little nervous that those pirates are going to chase us back here, so let's make sure that this transfer, that we're not transferring too much here, and make sure we grab those tech blocks. We're going to keep the fuel selected, we'll keep the food selected, but I really don't want to bog them down getting anything else until those transfers actually happened. I should have made sure on their priorities that the logistics are really higher priority. Let's make sure Emerson... Whoa. Interesting. When I meant to just change this, but that changed everything. Okay. Let's make sure Emerson is really doing logistics high priority, because I think that's what is driving whether or not he's going to go do that salvage. But right now he's busy mining. Let's actually make sure his mining is lower priority too. I don't think they both need to be out there mining. It's double checking what we're doing back on board the ship. Nobody's actually doing the building job even though it's ready. Jimmy's working on the plants. Tala is just wandering around doing nothing. Why are you not working, Tala? Let's make you think more about construction, please. Moving it around. Come on, Tala. You can do it. We need that construction finished, please. I want to see if we need any more power over there. I guess I could turn on the power overlay and figure it out that way. Here's power. Ooh, yeah, so it's going to be powered. No big deal. Great. Tala's decided to go do the salvage operation. That's fine. Well, she does that. Emerson's coming back in a pod, dumping off the carbon that he's mined for the day. It's getting late in the day already because of that extra jump we had to do. We're going to get 2 tech blocks. So now that we'll have 2 tech blocks, what can we do with those to make the lives easier? Well, I do want to... interesting, what's on the floor here, I wonder. I do want to expand our grow operation a bit. I'm pretty sure that doesn't take tech blocks. If we look at food, these grow beds take infra, and we have enough infra for at least 1. We also are again going to look to our resource situation. This is our chem station we've got finished. We have an assembler. We want the advanced assembler, but before we wanted that, we needed the optronics, I believe. Optronics are what really make us get tech blocks. We're also going to want the The energy refiner? No. Yes, we will want the energy refiner once we have quite a few tech blocks. But no, the self-user. Self-user lets us get energy blocks. That'll, once we have energy block, once we can produce energy blocks, we won't have any worries whatsoever about power. We'll be able to make a lot more power units all throughout the ship. The main point of the advanced assembler is to get us tech blocks so that we can make more exocraft, bigger engines, etc., without worrying about that. So that's really the next step, is optronics. Optronics takes a total of 3 tech blocks. We just found 2. Interesting. Composter actually requires 2. I thought it required 1. So we're actually gonna cancel the composter. We're gonna rely on the fact that we have 18 compost available. Make compost in our chemical synthesizer if we need it in an emergency. And instead of making the composter there, we're gonna just go straight to the optronics with these new 2 tech blocks we found. That should be enough to make the optronics assembler. We still won't be able to make the final assembler. With 2 tech blocks available, optronics will take 3 of those plus 1 energy. We have plenty of energy blocks, and that's going to be all of our tech blocks to make optronics. Am I looking at the right thing? Yes. And then the advanced assembler is going to require 2 more. So we're gonna, as soon as we get these 2 tech blocks, we should really just jump out of here and look for another salvage. That's what we should do. So maybe we will do that as soon as we've got these optronics, or these tech blocks, secured. So taking a look at what Tala is doing here. Hopefully she is grabbing those optronics. I also asked her to get the fuel and the hull blocks and the food. The food probably was pushing it, honestly. We have plenty of food, so I'm going to tell her we don't actually need food. Just get the blocks. Let's get out of here. Let's get jumping. She's carrying hull blocks. Okay. Well, shuttle has what in it already? Okay, she did put some of the food. Interesting. So the fact that I told her not to transfer that food, let's leave it, transfer it just in case that messes her up. But if we see her going out to get more, okay, good. So she got 2 food, 1 tech, 1 hull. That extra tech should be enough to start our, no, it's not quite enough to get our optronics, but we do know that we'll have 3 eventually. So I can at least plan where we're going to put it. So where are we going to put the optronics fabricator? It's huge. Rotating it doesn't fit. Gonna have to fit down here. And perfectly against this wall. Let's check our power again. Unfortunately, our power doesn't quite stretch down this far. We could tighten this spacing up a bit, but I don't think that's going to matter for power. And if we put it all against this wall, that'll leave us a place to put power, I think, if we need to. So let's define it here. That's going to need 3 tech blocks. We should have 2 once she's back. And then hopefully we can send somebody out to get 1 more in the morning. It looks like the mining operation is just about finished. These guys didn't have any extra tech blocks. Jimmy and Tala are already on break, so everybody's done for the day. Just double checking what we have set to transfer here. Turn off this food because they already transferred 2, so we're not going to need to transfer anymore. Let's leave those tech boxes turned on. And the fuel, and then we'll jump out of here. Everything else looks fine. So let's just double check that everything's working fine. We do have 5 electronic components ready to go. our chemical refinery is pumping away. It's got 5 chemicals. We might as well bump it up to 10, right? Since we have plenty of raw, and I don't see any other use for raw chemical. Then we're going to check the assembler is making infra hull. Let's see, hull blocks, we're up to 10, great. Infra, we're up to 9, so there's still some infra blocks that'll be made there. Steel plates, somebody's using them, but that looks reasonable. And then the scrap, we do not have any scrap to feed this thing, so honestly, maybe it makes sense to dismantle this because doesn't it have tech blocks in it? Maybe not. Let's check. If we were going to make a new recycler, it would have 3 tech blocks, so we can just toss the recycler, and that gives us enough tech blocks to build the advanced assembler. So let's do that. All right, yeah, let's dismantle this. So we certainly don't need that thing. And that'll be a good place to put our advanced assembler also. Not sure there's a reason to have this corridor between these two things either. We can just butt them up against each other. Although it might make sense to leave a corridor there in case we decide to expand our ship up into this area. So let's leave that for now. Alright, meanwhile, while they're sleeping, they've all made it to bed. Let's just do a little bit of planning here. I think what I want to do eventually is move these 2 grow beds over and turn this lane here kind of into the central corridor. So what that's going to require is us moving this storage, which is in the wrong place anyway. It probably makes sense to put a storage area here so that they can travel from the airlock to storage immediately. But then thinking further down the line, like this whole layout is wrong. It doesn't make any sense to have the airlock right next to, on the back of the ship like this, right next to the engine, because we're going to want to line up more engines along the back here. And having, like, this engine may or may not be centered perfectly, but it looks like it should be. It's pretty much lined up with that corridor, so I think it's centered. Having this engine here long term doesn't make sense, but it makes more sense to have engines on either side of it if we want to increase the number of engines. And I do believe engines require tech blocks, so we're not in any position to make more engines just yet. Yeah, 2 tech blocks. But once we have tech block production up, which is going to be soon because we should have the resources. So order of operations is going to be finish disassembling this. Uh-oh. Nobody has the ability to do botany. I thought somebody... Ooh, nobody's high priority botany? What happened? I thought for sure we had somebody doing high priority botany. That's dangerous. Okay, let's make her the botanist as her #1 priority. For some reason, these people who have the ability to do industry aren't doing industry, so Jimmy's going to be #1 priority industry. His #2 priority, I guess, is logistics and maintenance and construction. Our botanist is going to be Tala, I think. Right, wasn't there a one of them who actually liked botany? Lawyer smart, chemical engineer bloodlust, scientist hero, chemical engineer smart. Okay. And whether or not they like botany doesn't really show up, so I'm going to let Tala do the botany. Make sure she's actually geared up to do it. The only 2 people who can do mining are Emerson and Madeline, so they'll both put that on high priority, but not highest priority. Highest priority, let's see, one of them should really be highest priority construction. That's probably going to be Jimmy. He's just going to always make stuff or always do industry if those are available. He'll also be pretty high on maintenance. he's going to ignore the botany. Madeline, you could probably do botany if nobody else is. Madeline doesn't really have a highest priority now, so she's probably going to be our highest priority is medical, and then everything else is pretty much equal. I guess I could put on a straight line for being equal. What's that mean exactly? Normal priority. Yeah, okay. So maybe we'll just have normal and highest for everybody pretty much, and that'll make it more obvious who's doing what. Are they up yet? Just keep an eye on when they wake up. Construction, high priority, that sounds right. Okay. So his highest priority is going to be industry. And let's see, we're going to need... Nobody is going to be highest priority maintenance, but how about highest priority mining for you? And maybe construction for you. Yeah, let's do that. Construction, industry, medical, botany, and then they'll go do mining if there's nothing else to do. I guess, honestly, medical doesn't have to be highest. She can be maintenance as her highest. Let's see if that works. Hopefully that means Talo will go do the botany first thing in the morning. All right, and then unattended task 3 is all going to be botany. Great, so hopefully they get to that before too long. We will double check the transfer order one more time. I think somebody's going to do the transfer orders with those priorities I just set up. At least I hope so. If not, we'll have to adjust the priorities. There's a lot of jobs to do. We do want those tech blocks as soon as possible. And it does look like Tala is going in to do the botany. That's excellent news. Madeline and Jimmy are going to go in and do the construction, deconstruction jobs. And Emerson looks like he's just moving stuff out. He's helping out with the botany, it looks like. Great. Let's take a look at their feelings. So, uncomfortable environment, Emerson. So that's probably because he has to spend time down here, which is still a terrible place to be. I'm also not sure if we ever nailed down the temperature. So temperature actually seems reasonable. Good. Little cold. I should probably put a heater out here at some point. General comfort is, yeah, they like it in their bedrooms. They hate it in the engine room and the resource room. We will address that eventually. And the grow room is not the greatest, but eventually we will address that as well. All right. Everybody's... Oh, Emerson, you are idling. That's no good. You shouldn't be idling. You should be doing salvage at least. Why are you not doing salvage? You need to do... Oh, logistics are overwhelmed. Great. So everybody should consider logistics pretty important, I guess. Maybe that'll help. Great. Okay, so that immediately sent somebody out. Oh, wait, no, the ship is just going out on its own. Interesting. I don't know why that is. There's nothing in the shuttle. Oh, somebody's getting it through that airlock there. Great. Looks like maybe 2 of them. Oh no, just 1. I thought Emerson might be moving to the shuttle. So Jimmy's heading over to do the transfers. Keep an eye on the jobs still remaining over here. Logistics in general. Emerson is taking a lot of breaks today. It's not what I like to see, Emerson. I like to see people working hard, getting it done. More like it. Okay, like I said, we're going to have to move this storage area. Probably also want to remove this one. Probably want to move the airlock for that matter. Thinking it might make sense to attach the airlock up to the front of the ship. Have storage up in the front. So we are going to extend the ship this way. That's in our master plan. Not going to do that until we have the resource, the industrial resource generation, the tech block generation, hull block generation sussed and nailed down. Jimmy's working on it. What's he got going on so far? He hasn't actually managed to move anything into the ship yet. Guess he just got here. Hopefully he's concentrated. He's getting the hull blocks first. Damn. Get the tech blocks, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Get the tech blocks. Okay, well, let's see how these builds are coming. A new ship is entered. Great. Let's see if we can trade anything with these guys. Hello? Trade? Oh, must still be looking at build. Trade. Look at that. Right. Let's buy all the tech blocks we need, because look at that. There's plenty. Let's see. So from you guys, I think this is us, and this is them. From you guys, we're going to take, let's see, we're going to want as many of these as you can possibly give us. We're giving you... Okay, so we have enough credits to just afford 2 tech blocks outright. What if we give you this human bones? You can eat human meat. And I think we should have some electronic components or something we can trade too, yeah. These should trade. I believe we have enough resources to make a bunch of these. And we were just going to use them to make tech blocks anyway, so this should shortcut the need. Look at that. They're actually giving us money for this trade? No. No, that means we're giving them money. Okay. Is there anything else we can give up that we don't need right away that they want? Not really anything I feel comfortable giving up. We do have a lot of fuel, but I think giving up these electronics is a better idea because we can make those pretty easily. They're not particularly valuable, but they're about as valuable as the tech blocks. Wow, they really don't care about infra. Yeah, there's nothing else we really want to give them. I guess we could give them a couple of energy blocks, but we're still pretty far away from being able to make those. So this is a pretty good deal. This is going to net us 6 tech blocks. Let's do it. That is great trade. Excellent. That means we're going to have an excess of tech blocks and finally be on the way to having full industry. Nice. A nice trade finally. Once that shuttle is free, we'll do that trade. Jimmy is still slowly picking up the items that we asked him to transfer. Come on, bud. Of course, it's in the furthest possible part of the ship from where the shuttle is. Alright, he got the tech block. I believe there was only one left, so hopefully after this he comes home. And we can... Yeah, that should be the last thing we're transferring out of there for now. He'll come home, we can start building, finish that trade, and actually we're going to be sitting pretty here for a bit now, so we can spend some time on ship design. So object not on power grid, that's this. We're going to need power. I think we're going to add another power module in here. Might actually want to put in, yeah, let's just put another power module. Build power Do power node or floor? Power node makes more sense for the industrial area. And we could put it much anywhere. If we put it here, it powers the walls and doesn't block any movement. So let's do that. So a lot of logistics not being done. Alright, as I say that, I see them starting to do logistics. Great. Maybe they're just slow. Why is he putting stuff in the airlock? Oh, that must be the transfers. He's setting up the transfers for trading. Great, yes, because he's put the electronics components and the human meat. We're giving away some human meat we found on one of the derelicts. Double check that we have enough. So these take, right, so we're refining base metals into electronics, and we have quite a bit of base metals from the mining we've done earlier. The shuttle is transferring components. It's going to do part of that trade, or is that the entire trade? I guess the credits go automatically, maybe. So there goes the trade. He'll come back with tech blocks. And we can actually start building the assembler, which is fantastic. I didn't think we'd be able to get it done so quickly. But that's the advanced assembler, ready to go. Wow, that thing's huge. Does look like if we put it there, let's see. Yeah, if we put it there, there's still room to walk around. And still gives us room to build a corridor next to it, so let's do that. Power module is done, so we can link the power. Please, let's link to that one. And trade is happening. Great. All right, I'm actually feeling pretty good about this now. Let's check on our hull blocks. We have 12 hull blocks. So before we go too crazy with expanding the hull, I want to modify this section here so that we actually have a corridor here. We're not going to be able to build the wall in kind of the way I want it right now because we're waiting for these grow beds to finish their grow cycle so we can move them over one. And then we can build a hallway down here. Probably also going to rotate this one around when we do that. Let's take a look at those real quick to see how close they are to finishing their growth cycle. So these fruits just finished. Let's not waste any more, and this meat finished. Let's just finish this root vegetable cycle. That should finish tomorrow. Let's check this one. Likewise, these fruits. This vegetable's pretty much, once those finish, we will flip those around. How much fruit and vegetable are we actually holding? Got quite a bit of fruit, a little bit of vegetable. They must eat the meat right away because I don't see any of that. Or it's possible it just takes longer than we have the ability to make to actually grow that stuff. So we're going to move those. We're going to move this. So in order to move this, we're going to need to take that stuff that's in it currently and move it out of there. So that means we're going to need a place to store those items that are in there. So we're going to make another storage, and I think we're going to put it right about here. That's going to be awkward because there's no way to get around it, so we're going to put it here. Put it here. So it makes even more sense to just put it there since it's going to block everything no matter where we put it. I don't really want it to be in a permanent place. Maybe it makes more sense not to do that until we've got more of a storage place. Let's look at the whole sketch that we had going on. Yeah, okay. So we're going to extend this out. We're going to make this a storage area. Or actually, maybe we're going to make this a storage area. Maybe that makes a lot more sense. It's just to grow this whole thing. organically up to this level. Make the storage area here, put our new airlock here. We could have a secondary storage area on this side or possibly expand that grow room. Let's do that. It's going to be ugly, but generally the idea is going to be, let's see, if we built this hole here, 2.7 blocks. What if we, all right, so let's have them do that. And then likewise, bend into here is going to be 14 blocks. So we do not have enough blocks to do that yet. Cancel that. It's going to take a lot of whole blocks. So we're going to have to build this out a little bit of a section at a time. So what if we just did up to here? Here. And then maybe this. Like so. That should be buildable right now. Will require walling, adding extra interior walls. But it's possible, so that's the main reason we're doing that. Oh no. What's happened? We are out of power. Alright, this looks like an emergency. We're going to have to shut something down. Probably somebody started a task over here that's consuming all of our power. What happens exactly, people? Why are we out of power? Is it just charging this up made us go out of power? So what's happening? Looks like it's recovering mostly. But yeah, that's a sign that we're going to need a new power plant soon. Luckily, with all those tech blocks we just have, of which 7 have arrived here already, that should give us plenty of resources to make a new power plant. Question is, do we want to make a new small one? Probably another new small one rather than, and divide this into 2 sections rather than have just one giant power plant running everything. Okay, first things first, we're going to move this storage into this wing. We're going to put the new airlock over here. This is going to be the storage wing. This power plant, or power in general, can probably be moved to the industrial section. I think we even have resources now that we can build a second power plant so that we always have power rather than pull down our original power plant. Ouch, this big power generator takes 6 tech blocks. That's a lot. But we're probably going to want to do it because we can. So let's take a look. If we stick this over here, actually a power generator covers floor, so we can get rid of that power node we just added. We can stick a power generator right here, get rid of that power node, put a power capacity node in there next to this generator. And I think we'll be sitting pretty, so let's do that. Looks like the power has recovered. Not really sure what happened. We just kind of surged and didn't have enough to cover, I guess. I think we're going to want to make a bigger power plant. Okay, so that will cost 6. Looks like we used up all of any excess we were floating. That'll leave us with 1 tech block, but we will have the ability now to make tech blocks. So what happens if we tell this refiner to start producing tech blocks? We definitely can't make these energy blocks yet. Although I take it back, we can. We have a lot of energy cells. The only thing energy cells are used for is to make energy blocks. So we can make energy blocks if we need to, but we don't need those right now. We have plenty. Let's make tech blocks. Let's keep our tech blocks supply. Sorry, we need optoelectronics components. And it takes 1 per. So first thing we want to do is make optronics, which require chemicals and electronics. So let's keep this topped up at 5. which will use up most of our chemicals and cause us to make a bunch more of those, of the electronics. Let's keep that topped up. That's going to use some power. Once we have some of those, we can tell this to start making tech blocks. Again, we'll tell it to make 5. We have 7, so it's not going to need to make any just yet, and that won't drive excess demand on our optronics. But that gives us a way to make a new power plant. So if we make a new power plant here, we can disassemble the old one and get 4 tech blocks back. So we won't really be too deeply in the negative. So let's do that. I'm going to put... I cannot build here, so I'm going to have to destroy this power node first. And then once that power node is gone, we will make the new power plant there. Then we can remove this old power plant. Hopefully that will improve the comfort in this area. We can also wall off the engines, and that'll give us some area here. For now, we can put the navigation, we can move the navigation console and finally build an operations console in this area. Meanwhile, it looks like everyone has managed to make it to bed without too many jobs left undone for the day. Just check on that really quick to see what's remaining. There's always a botany job to be done now. And there's industry jobs because we just made an order and some logistics here. And now that we've got hull building, there's hull building jobs. Unfortunately, because we broke this wall down, they're going to be pretty miserable there for the short term. So I'm going to just quickly throw up an interior wall here before I forget, just to seal off their bedroom. We might as well stretch this down to here. We can always adjust that later as we need. I'll also want to adjust the paint on those walls pretty soon. It looks like everyone is going to bed, checking on their feelings as a final good night. We've got moderate discomfort, but they are gaining some comfort. Jimmy overstuffed himself, and he's got major discomfort, and someone was mean to him. Madeline is minor discomfort, and Tala is major discomfort. Just checking out their comfort. It's because the sound of the engines is leaking into the sound of the power generator is leaking into their bedroom for the night. Makes them pretty uncomfortable. That'll be fixed tomorrow. In the meantime, that was Space Haven. I believe this is episode 7, day 16. The further adventures continue. Hopefully we can outfit this ship with some defenses and better engines soon. And get these people on to a better life.